Hello and welcome everyone to episode 203 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, freelance letterer extraordinaire, Brandon Bovia, and, this one's a doozy. This week is a doozy. I knew it was coming, but I think just the amount of things packed in.
I want to say it came out of nowhere, but it was kind of set up last time, and I just didn't realize it about, what was getting ready to happen. Because, it's one of those things where it's sad, but it's not. It's kind of the same way in I feel the same way about this as I did about Pedro. Where, man, it hits hard. Doesn't make me cry or anything, but it hits hard and it accomplishes a lot.
It does. Yeah. I think that's the big thing. And it is also man, it really does feel like Oda is in his, nobody's safe, right?
No.
If you're a non-flashback named character, it can happen to anybody. But I am thankful for 945 because otherwise this one would have been pretty bleak.
Pretty heavy set, that's for sure.
So we end on a funny note, thankfully.
Yeah, thank goodness. Man, let's get into this one because I feel like we have a lot to say.
Yeah. I feel like this is packed with revelations and payoffs and things that have been a long time coming that I've been sitting on. So
yeah,
let's do it.
Let's do it. Chapter 941, The Star of Ebisu. And get ourselves a color spread where everybody's hitchhiking. And I love the little details of where they're all going. Into the sea for Luffy. The spa resort for Nami. Sanji's with you to anywhere. Cotton Candy Kingdom for Chopper.
I see a Brook is at Panty Heaven.
Yes. Robin has good place up, and then you see the little sign this way to hell, this way to somewhere, this way to home, this one to come on Arcadia, this way to the beach. It's just so random.
It's great. Yeah, it's a very you don't get very many American feeling cover pages, and
it works.
It does. Yeah.
It's a fun one.
I mean, when you think about it, One Piece is just one long road trip movie.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Just now we're in the desert. Oh gosh. All right. Well, let's get into the chapter itself. As right off the bat, out of nowhere, a wildfire in Curry. They've caught him at last. Ushimitsu Kozo has been apprehended, who we've been hearing about.
Nonstop.
One of those that steal from the rich, give to the poor type things. So
and Orochi is he's like a teenager locked up in his room just trying to cope.
He's still grief stricken with Komurasaki's death. No woman alive is as beautiful as she was. Give me her back. How could I lost my love, the love of my life?
Yes,
when you think about that, he took over. He has to be at least 20 years her senior, which is a little creepy when you think about it.
Yeah. When you think about it that way, I mean, it is. But at least Komurasaki's she's a whole adult.
True.
It could be a whole lot worse, but it's still not great.
Very true. So
problematic age gap, most certainly.
Yeah, but the head of our ninja group is hey, Kyoshiro's decision was the wisest course of action in my opinion. More importantly, I'm glad you decided to emerge because Orochi just burst out in his form and was all pissed off.
He's a very emotional man.
Yeah.
It's a rough time for him.
But turns out that they've learned the identity of Ushimitsu Kozo and revealed it to Orochi, and it's wait, how is he alive? And I'm
right. Yeah,
I had no idea who they're talking about.
Yeah. If it's got him rattled, you must think he's we have to make an example out of him. We're put him on the light scrolls around the nation, which of course Kyosho has already got that set up. And so they are they're turning this into a public execution, basically.
Yeah, and they're just gonna make it as, have it be a ritual funeral. The two biggest stars of the city dying together. What an ironic twist of fate. So, there we go. He plans to be there too. So that's the whole plan. But we get into go back to the excavation labor camp. It's the next morning, and Luffy's ready to go. But Queen has heard the news.
He also can't cope.
Yeah, he can't cope at all. Komurasaki is dead. So, yikes.
Yeah, they're also setting up the light scroll in the prison, which is I think kind of funny. Like, all right, yeah, let's show all the prisoners what's going on. But
yeah,
it's funny that we have all these gross old men who are like in tears over that their waifu died.
Yeah. Luffy's like, what? We're gonna start the sumo yet or what? Wait, and the Queen's like, wait, did you get fatter overnight?
If there's anything we know about Luffy's body is that he will get progressively skinnier, after a couple of panels. But I love the fact that old man Hyo is also fattened up, and it's just like
it's kind of perfect.
It's funny too because you're at first you're like, what did he eat? And then you kind of hear some of like the riffraff or kind of like, should we tell Queen that all of his Oshiruko vanished overnight? And it's like, what? Who knows what he'll do if he'll suffer that kind of double shocks? Like, oh, Luffy, he ate the Oshiruko, didn't he?
Yep. As soon as I found out they ate the Oshiruko, I'm like, oh no. The one thing that would like placate Big Mom is now gone.
Yeah. So things not moving great.
No, it is not. That is a literal ticking time bomb.
Yeah. I think that it makes it all the funnier too that Queen doesn't know it's gone either.
Yeah, they selectively let him know a certain amount of information, and that's about it.
Yep.
But they go back to the western side of Wano, and there's the fire at Shutamaru's hideout. They can't put it out. Guys, one of Hold'em's goons from Bakura Town, so he's the one that set the fire. So now Shutamaru is going to go take care of Hold'em, who's somehow not learned his lesson. He's still out there causing issues.
And I feel like this whole thing is just to get Shutamaru like from point A to point B, because it is kind of like the D plot of all the things happening here. It's just to make sure that he's where he needs to be at certain points in time.
Yeah, it's like we got to get him on the group, so we got to get him with everybody. So this will work. And but Dogstorm is like, man, arson is more serious than I imagined it would be. So it's like, well, as long as it puts him against the Animal Kingdom pirates, it's best for us. It's about what it takes to make a stubborn goat like him see sense. The plan has gone off the rails and no solution is in sight. We need him working with us. So they're ready to get desperate and just really let him have the coals his feet to the coals to get him on their side.
Exactly. It kind of it sucks for him, but it is to the benefit of Kinemon and the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. So Hold'em's just like too bad. Would have loved to show the entire nation side of Tsuchimara being burned alive in the wildfire. But at least we get to watch this, the whole light scroll.
I'm honestly surprised he's still around.
I did not expect him to come back. I thought he was a one and done, just gone.
I'm wondering what his last on-screen appearance will be.
Probably this. Let's be honest. But we next go back to Ringo, and Brooke has found the house that Zoro and the girls were staying in, and Zoro wakes up with both of them just clinging to him.
Right, and of course, the first thing Brooke says, like, "Oh, a pretty lady, must I see your panties?" And just, of course, they're screaming like, "Ah, a ghost!"
They're screaming. It's like, oh, so that's why they're left. There was all those offerings left outside the well. Yeah, Kinemon told me to stay in the well and say I'm so hungry, a curse upon you. So that's what Brooke's job has been. Just getting supplies that way. I love how outside of Luffy, Zoro is the only other man who could have slept with Hiyori clinging to him like that and been fine.
Right. Yeah, where Brooke is just kind of like, "Oh, I'm so jealous," and he's like, "We're just sleeping." And I love that. Hiyori just completely turns it around and is just kind of like, everyone gets besotted with the thought of sleeping next to me. Was that exciting for you? He's like, "You can look on the bright side of anything. He hit you."
I love how she's all
both are completely unbothered.
Yeah, she's just like, it's so funny to see the real personality of her, because is just everybody's so in love with me. Isn't that cool?
Right, yeah, you would think.
They really do look like a mother, father, and child sleeping there.
It does. It's an adorable scene.
Yes. Oh, gosh. But Brooke is giving them an update about the women leaving for the bathhouse in the capital. Never succeeded in finding them, so ended up here. But the city is in an uproar because they've all come for the funeral of the Komurasaki, and now everybody's talking about how the Ushimitsu Kozu has been caught. And she immediately, Hiyori's like, wait, that cannot be, which tells me she knows who it actually is. I was like, well, his identity has been a mystery. And as it turns out, he's quite a star in Ebisu Town. He goes by the name of something Yasu, but the truth is that he's... Wait, you mean Todo Yasu? Zora immediately recognizes the name. And of course, Toko's like, wait, that's my dad. So, this isn't good. He's kind of being set to put to death in the capital day, and Toko immediately runs off. Yeah,
which is a problem because, and then Hiyori goes after her, which is a problem for Zora. It's like they're both wanted women.
It's not going well. So all of them are just heading towards the capital now. It's just
but poor Brooke, who's like, I just came from there,
and Zora hasn't even fully healed up yet. So oh boy. But yeah, we get to see the funeral procession of Komurasaki. This is the procession I wanted to see. Everybody's in tears, and just. Again, all kinds of stuff are all happening all over the place. And they're like, the procession is like, why are you heading to Resetsu Town? Well, she defied the will of the Shogun Orochi. She is to be tried as a criminal and burned at the stake at the prisoners' quarters there. So they're just going to... 2 birds, 1 stone, this whole thing.
Yeah.
And all the while, Tonoyasu is being crucified.
Yeah, quite literally.
Oh, geez. So... the others are learning about this. Robin and all of them. It's like, oh, it sounds like Tonoyasu was a thief. What does this mean? I don't get it. Wasn't he supposed to be a saint? It's like, wait. And that's when Konjiro's like finally realizes, like, wait a second, that hairstyle jogs my memory. The thieving part is the least of his worries. What do you mean? Who is he? He is Lord Yasui, one of the daimyo who stood alongside Lord Odin and supported the Kozuki clan. The daimyo of Hakume, Yasu the Hedgehog. He used to be so stern and strict, that's why we didn't recognize him.
Big deal. Just real quick, Yasuie and Hakumai.
Yasuie
and Hakumai.
Yasuie and Hakumai. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And already the people are seeing him and just like, oh, we're so happy you're alive. Let him down. Take him down from there. Show some respect. And they're all shouting to him. It's like, huh.
They're like rushing the fences, basically.
And he's beaten, bloodied, and basically just like, huh, they do remember me after all. But your pleas will go unheard, my good people. Orochi will not let me go. But first, I have 2 things for which I need to apologize to you all. And 1 thing I wish to say to that fool Orochi.
Oh,
once
man.
I've made my peace, I intend to go into the great beyond laughing. And all the while, Toko's laughing, crying as she's trying to head towards him.
Yeah.
And, oh, no.
I feel like with the reveals that Yasuie is actually, he is a daimyo, he's one of the people supported by the who supported the Kozuki clan, and that he seems like so beloved as a beloved figure by the people of Ebisu Town. It's like I feel like this is, and that they're making such a big show of the execution. I feel like it is kind of setting up to be like, this is not going to, it's going to have the reverse effect, right? Like they're trying to make an example out of Yasu, but as these things tend to go, I think it's just going to kind of fan the flames, as it were, and kind of embolden the people.
Mm-hmm. Definitely seems the case. And you don't really want to have unrest at this point.
Yeah. The civil unrest is certainly like, I don't know. I see that panel of everybody kind of like they've set up the fence around the execution platform, and it's just like, oh no, people are just like this. I don't know, man. For like a fascist, overlord, right? Like the people are getting a little restless,
A little bit. Who would have guessed? So, whew. Yeah, I was like, oh, geez, they got him. Like, what's going on here? Like, I was really just intrigued about what is happening here.
Yeah, because you wouldn't, look at him. You're like, wait, this guy?
So, yeah, let's see what all happens as we continue on to chapter 942, Daimyo of Hakumai, Shimotsuki Yasue.
There you go.
Yasue. Oh my God, that's gonna throw me.
It's a tricky one.
And Montdor gets a
of all characters,
gets a chapter. That's good for him. Choosing cheeses from cheeses of the world and first class sommelier mice. Choosing wines from wines of the world. So that's pretty good.
All the mice, and they're just kind of like all like rummaging through the books and stuff. It's a really kind of nice image.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of paradise. Although the one in the front looks quite drunk.
Yeah, it's a little too classy for Montdor.
A little bit, but still fun. So it's time for a flashback to what Yasue was actually like before his whole laughing persona began. It's here in Hakumai that we have the only proper port in all of Wano. Some visitors mean us well, others mean us harm. Therefore, it is imperative that we have an invincible military force. They are indeed the fiercest samurai in Wano, and that's what's being said to him at the same time. It's so weird to see him so serious.
Yeah, he's locked in. Yeah, it's the complete opposite. And it's funny, too, because here he is talking to Odin, who's still in shadow. We have not seen him in full yet, and he's kind of admonishing him. He's talking down to him. It's like, how long are you gonna keep lollygagging around here? It's no time for idle admiration. You are the son of the shogun, and apparently Odin says that he got banished. So it's like, am I even family anymore? So it's like, everybody's saying that you're the one who's gonna take up the mantle after me. It's gonna be Shogun Yasuie, and that pisses him off so much that he bonks him. And it's like you can tell from this interaction that he's like, Lord Sukiyaki only cut you off as an act of tough love. Take the hint, mend your ways. So it's like he's a bit of a, he's a little bit of a hard ass.
A bit of a hard ass, but also a man of honor, because this could have easily been his chance to take over.
Yeah, there could have been, yes, I'm going to be the one to bust into the throne and all that. But, you can tell that this is, the way everybody talks about Odin is that he was a man that's just sort of beloved by everybody, and that like the way that in his prior life that Yasuie sort of expressed this love, that just he's like the actual father figure.
Very much so, but also it's interesting that Odin has this personality that can gather both normal people, respected people, and sort of the riffraff.
Yes, very much so.
Brought that whole area together. So it's interesting, especially because he is already talking about the closed nation being too cramped.
Yeah, so he wants to go to sea, which, as we know, he has a relationship with Whitebeard and Roger.
Yeah,
so we're kind of seeing bits of that where he's supposed to be the shogun, or the next in line to become the shogun, and he's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I want to go with them.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, but we go into the present, and all the people are just like, wait, I'm originally from Hakumai. We're so glad you're alive. And he's just again stood up high so just everybody can see, and just declaring what he is like, this man was caught stealing in the capital last night. Though he has sunk to being a sycophant by trade in Ebisu Town, he was once known as the daimyo of Hakumai, Shimotsuki Yasue.
And this is where I'm reminded, this is where this is not the first time they mentioned his family name, but this is where it clicked for me. If you remember, way back when, I don't remember when this was, but there was a moment where we cut to Zoro's old village, the village where he grew up. And at that point, I had noted out because they had translated the name. I believe I mentioned that on this podcast. I was like,
yes, you have mentioned it before.
Yeah. I was like, they shouldn't have done that. Just because it makes things a little bit messy. And so here we have Frost Moon, I think is the literal translation,
Yes.
which in Japanese is Shimotsuki. So if you're wondering what the connection is, it's that, his Yasuie's family name is also the name of the village where Zora grew up. So, that is
So somebody left Wano at some point.
Yes, somebody left Wano at some point to all the way in the middle of nowhere in the East Blue.
But it's also like, have they since, in the second time they showed Zora's village, have they shown did they show Shimotsuki yet, or are they still? I'm guessing it's going to be revealed later, like where they bring that tie a little closer.
Like somebody with the name?
Well, no, like where they're going to show the town instead of showing it as Frost Moon, they'll show it as Shimotsuki.
I think they do both. I think the Japanese is in parentheses now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it is something that is. You kind of it's just one of those things, right? Like you can't look 10 years in the future.
Yeah, you would never know. You would never know that that's something you should translate or shouldn't translate.
Exactly.
But I am so curious what this means and if Zora will take note. So we'll see. But they're going over his crimes of leading an army in rebellion against Shogun Orochi. He's hereby sentenced to death and disgrace alongside the Oiran Kumurasaki. He's also admitted to being a figure of ill repute within the capital, Ushimitsu Kozo, the thief who strikes at the third hour of the bull in the night. And that's when Yasuie says, "That was a lie. I figured that if I was going to die, I might as well grab your attention." So
that's what I love about this whole thing. Yasuie, he is thinking 10 steps ahead of everybody else.
He is so far beyond what anybody would have thought of him. Like, I was just like this goofy old man who knows how to treat people right. That's all I thought of him. Is just he knows how to keep the spirits up as best as he can. So it's like, but no, there is a plan here. So it was like, wait, and then of course the guards immediately goes like, wait a second, I thought that Tommy didn't match up. Yeah, he showed up at the hour of the rat, just like the rat he is. And it's like, I'm sorry for lying to you. I'm not the hero you think he is. So we still don't know who Ushimitsu Kozo is. That is.
I actually thought it was him this whole time. So now I'm like, I need to look that up later.
As far as I can tell. He's saying he lied. He said he claimed to be Ushimitsu Kozo, so they would get the biggest attention drawn on him as possible. But he is not
I understand
actually
that now.
him.
Yeah, and now I don't know if we ever find out. That
I just assume it's the third samurai we haven't met yet.
Oh yeah, that could also be it. See, now like
because we got Shutamaru, we have I forget his actual name, but Kappa in the prison. But we haven't met the third one.
Kawamatsu and Denjiro.
Denjiro, yes.
Yeah.
So that's my best guess, but there's so many characters they can introduce, who knows. So
yeah, I'm gonna look that up later because I'm like, did we ever find that out? Did I miss that?
I don't think we have.
Yeah.
But Drake is already taking notice, like, oh boy, the uproar over Kamasaki's funeral has turned into rapt attention toward Yasuie's execution.
All part of the plan.
Yep. And the people of Ebisu have rushed into the flower capital. It seems that he's more inspirational than we knew. And at the entrance, there's all these people laughing as they're rushing in. It's like, let us in to see Tonoyasu. Don't you dare kill Yasu. And, don't you go dying on us now. If you die, who will we have to support us? And that's when they're like,
it's about to turn into a full-on riot.
Yeah, it is. They're even warning of that. It's like, it's that decision to display the execution on the light scrolls may backfire on us just a tad. So, and man, you get this incredible view of hit from him on the cross. and just overlooking the flower capital. He even says is how wondrous a sight Wano is. It is this beauty which is our pride and joy, built over generations of hard work by the Koziki clan and the people of the nation. And, you know, oh, wait, I was like, wait, I thought somebody else was talking when it went to Orochi, but no, it's him over the lights.
It's just over the speaker. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, this is not your doing in the least, Korazumi Orochi. And Orochi's like, how dare he?
Yeah, right.
And he just goes, can you hear me, Orochi? All you have done to our bountiful forests and fields and rivers and villages is pollute and corrupt them with your sludge and greed. You are nothing but a vermin.
He's taking him down. Like, it's kind of awesome, right? Because we know so much at this point, right, that it's like, you don't talk, you know, don't say bad things about the Shogun, like, oh, you know, like, the people will come for you. And it's like, at this moment, you know, that Yasuo's just kind of like, I don't really give a crap anymore.
Well, he's
saying what everybody's thinking.
Yeah. And we kind of you kind of get an idea of what his plan is with his second declaration, because he had taken notice in the last set about the riddle, the message about where everybody should be meeting up. So he has everybody's attention. He has his good name. He's pissed off Orochi. Now it's time to claim something else. Are you familiar with the riddle that's been circulating? In the 20 years since the death of the Koziki name, without any manpower to avenge them, I mourned the loss of that great house, and so I created that image. It's like,
yeah, this is a prank, bro.
Just a prank. So. Oh boy.
At this pivotal moment, right? Mm-hmm. Where we think, oh man, the plan has leaked, and now, like, it's almost, it feels so immediate that Yasu was able to notice kind of where things were going and go like, I'm gonna just seize the moment, right?
Yeah. I have to do this if we have any hope of pulling this off, with the plan starting to go awry. So he goes on to say, 20 years ago, after Odin died, Orochi came to us, the four remaining daimyo, with a question. Would we serve Korazumi or fight? A laughable query. You owed Odin for everything you had, but you stole the shogun's throne through deceit and chicanery. Who would serve you? And
that's, we see Dogstorm and Kinemon, who's kind of like, wait, that's Lord Yasuye.
Yeah. And Shutamaru's arrived, and he's seeing all this, and like, all the people are gathering and sort of realizing what's going on. And gosh, how can you not read everything he says? Because it's just so like, it really is.
Yeah, no, keep going. It's a great speech.
The daimyo and people of each land immediately took up arms, but we failed to overcome the monster that is Kaido, and Wano was razed to the ground. To my disappointment, I survived the battle and took to living in Ebisu Town in disguise, but I would be ashamed to die of old age. So I orchestrated this childish stunt with a symbol. Please forgive me. However, Orochi's cowardice knows no bounds. He panicked so much that he apprehended innocent people just for wearing the trend of the moon symbol upon their skin. Like,
he's a genius, man.
Saying, oh, I just started a trend. You guys bought into it. Pfft, he got so panicked he went for it. Look how weak he is. And everybody else is like, he does tend to do that, so this makes sense.
Yeah. Like all the guards people are like, ah! And it's like, it does, like, it's such a good, like, idea that does double duty, right? Of like, one, it, you know, kind of undermines Orochi's sovereignty, but it also, like, you know, through kind of framing this like, oh, it's just a prank, that's a little lie, you know, while emphasizing Orochi's like paranoia, but it is also like it's a distraction, right? It's like no, you know, pay no attention to this.
It's such a brilliant tactic, but as soon as I'm seeing like all this, I'm like, oh, he is so dead.
Yeah,
like it was one of those things where I just immediately recognized like there is no way he is getting out of this alive.
Yeah,
I'm 95% sure Oda is going to pull that trigger.
Yeah, and at this, I mean, I feel like at this point, because Yasu is talking like somebody who is just kind of like, F it.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm dying. I'm going to say what I want. Who cares?
And,
well, speaking of, here comes Orochi riding on top of his carriage as they all carry it. He has a gun in hand. He's ready to just shoot down Yasue just immediately. And Yasue just continues on. It's like, hey, Orochi, how about this? Shall I recite the words that have a stranglehold on your heart? A man of such small caliber shall never in his life truly devour Oden, which beautiful
and he just
play
starts
on words.
laughing at him. Yeah, it's just like he's just, despite the fact that Yasu is tied up and getting crucified at this moment, he's in complete control. He is just taunting. He's just taunting him at this point, right? Just rubbing it in.
Like, come on, bro, shoot me, bro. Confirm that all my everything I'm saying.
Yeah. No balls, you won't do it.
Yeah.
And then of course, as we'd been kind of alluding to, we kind of get a little bit of Yasu's thoughts here, where he's like, listen to me, Kinemon, and the Akazaya samurai, and the future shogun Momonosuke. The plan you created is once again a blank sheet of paper, but I've shown our comrades caught in Rasetsu a new gathering place. This is all that I can do left with what is left of my life. Nothing Orochi the coward could say will sway the minds of his soldiers now. And like, you see, even like Akinemon's crying. He says, we're grateful. And even, the goons are just like, yeah, there's a problem with that. I'm a coward for a shogun. And it's like, don't say that.
Oh, man. Just the fact that there's already a new plan that he distributed and has something going on.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, you see them.
He is just so on the ball.
He's on it. It's almost like he was waiting for this moment, right? Like he was waiting for 20 years to be like, all right, where are we doing it? Oh, we're doing it now? It's like, oh, the plan's kind of in danger. Like, bet, I got you.
Yeah. It's just, And the whole point is, for 20 long years, no one has been able to take Kaido's head. So this is our chance. We're gonna do our best to get him. But as Toko has arrived and is calling out and trying to get there, he says, cover the children's eyes, for now the final daimyo serving Kozuki, nay, the friendly oddball of Ebisu Town, shall make the final grand journey. In fact, I think I'll go singing. And he's just has this hidden message to his friends that he's saying, and he's just, and a one, and a two. I will await the good news in the afterlife as Orochi just pops him full of lead.
Yeah, just and of course his final thoughts of forgive me, Otoko, forgive your father for leaving you behind. And it's one of those where it is like, I don't know, man. Maybe while you're reading it, it's like, oh, again, like Oda, he did kill off
Pedro.
Oh my God, Pedro. Yeah, he killed off Pedro, but like because I feel like death to characters outside of flashbacks is still relatively rare. Like there's a part of you that thinks like he's not really gonna do it, is he? But like no, like you see him just get just shot over and over again by the guards. And like everybody's rioting, they're all they're trying to kick the beggars out from Ebisu, and you seeing poor Otoko just screaming out daddy just as his body just like flops down to the ground. Like if that wasn't brutal enough, it's that all of the people from Ebisu Town, they're all yelling out, Lord Yasuie, oh, and then they just start laughing. They start busting out in laughter. Yeah. And he's just like, he just up and died, he's dead. And it's just like, somebody just died. Zoro's like, what's so funny about that? And that's
it's heartbreaking to see Toko just laughing like crazy and while crying.
Yeah, I think that's the one that hit me.
It's just like, oh my God.
Because it's like, you start to think that like, this is not how normal people act, right? Like nothing about this reaction is normal. No. And Hiyori is the one that has to explain to Zoro. It's like, no, they are all crying. The people of Ebisu who always laugh can't actually show when they're sad or suffering. They've been robbed of every expression but smiles. Laughing is all they can do anymore. And it's all because of Kaido and Orochi. It's because of those things they brought here, the smile fruits, which I'm like, what? There it is.
Did not think it had another name or a reason for that name. So, caught me off guard. Like, what the hell?
after all this time, right? Again, God, that was it's like 200-300 chapters ago at this point. Which I think, as we kind of get into the explanation next chapter, but it is like, good God, he had this all planned out.
Yeah, he did. He was so ready for all of this.
And I even remembered, and we'll get into it. But they even mentioned in Punk Hazard, like, oh, the smile fruits, they have side effects. Like, they didn't mention it at the time, but or what it was, but sort of the idea that they are imperfect.
And we'll be going into that, but in thinking about it, the gloves really are off when it comes to like who can die right now, because this is
I think that's a statement.
Our sixth death or something like that, because we've had Ace, we've had Pedro, we had blinking on his name, the father of Lola.
Father of Lola. Oh God. Oh no, what was his name?
I'm blanking on his name. Pound. That was it. Have Pound. Absalom's dead.
Absalom's dead. Yep. And
now,
presumably Virgo and the
Virgo and
the Snow Lady on Punk Hazard.
Yes, they're both dead now. So yeah, that's about 7 confirmed named deaths, which is very rare.
Yeah, I do feel like Pedro is definitely like the first one of sort of like, I feel like I feel like it's different. Yeah, it's of impact. It's of like allied characters, right? I feel like non-flashback allied characters don't they really don't die that often, and I really think that like it is sort of from Pedro onwards. Nobody is safe, and that like he can kind of craft these moments that really do. Again, I wasn't sad when Yasu died, but like it certainly felt like a moment that had like the right amount of build up, right?
Yeah,
like it wasn't
it was build up, but also like it serves two purposes, where it resets the plan they originally had while keeping stakes, and but honestly, still raising the stakes.
Yeah, because I feel like this is the first moment where we kind of like really understand, and we'll get into that more in the next chapter maybe, but like Orochi as like a villain, right? Like he's not just like this bumbling idiot who's just like, I'll tell Kaido on you, right? Like he's kind of there's something, he has a level of like he's a level of like sinisterism to himself.
Yeah, like he would be an issue all by himself, but he's not strong. So that's the thing, is like he's powerful in his own right and has that can utilize that power in ways that we obviously see, but to back that up even further with Kaido makes him just that much more dangerous. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think that's when it's really set into me that like it feels like they have so much of a much stronger hold on Wano than like Doflamingo did on Dressrosa, right? It really feels like the grip on power is so tight that it is like, in order for any part of this,
they just need to put the people down.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting to see just the layers as we get through this. But let's learn about that smile though with chapter 943, Smile.
Yeah.
And kind of a simple one for this one, just Robin knitting with a tarantula thread. It's nothing crazy. It's cute.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm really wondering at this point when the next cover story is.
I have no idea on this one. It feels like we've been going for a while.
Yeah, for sure. So
we begin with another flashback to get us more connected with Yasue. And I will say that, it's good flashbacks, but it characterizes other characters more than him. Yasue just is sort of like what you see is what you get. You sort of have a little bit of the tragedy of him, as we'll learn later, to how he became like this. But to see, him in the past, it's just like he lived a full life. It's not like there's no inherent tragedy to everything. It's more like this is the man he was.
If anything, I feel like these flashbacks characterize Odin.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it. Because yeah, he's like, in this flashback, it's like, why did you try to steal all this money? Because Odin is hard up for gold. If you're going to kill us, Hedgehog, then get it over with. Oh, Odin, where do you find these people?
Yeah, he's like sighing.
You can have all the money you tried. It's just like, oh,
Clearly, is like a tired dad.
why are you picking these people? It's like, fine, you can have all the money you tried to steal. Wait, what? Yasue, these are Hakumai's funds. And there, take this as well. Use it. More money? What kind of trap are you setting? Do you love Odin? Of course I do. I owe that man my life. Then use the coins to clean yourself up, practice manners, buy books, learn things. If he has reference like you for vassals, Odin will only embarrass himself. So it's like, I'm doing this for him because you guys need cleaned up. And honestly, it's really fun to see all the young versions of a lot of the characters we've been meeting.
Oh yeah. Like there's Raizo there, and there's Cat Viper and Dogstorm there.
Kappa's there.
Yeah,
still can't see his face.
That's Izo, I think, back there from Whitebeard's crew.
Yes, I believe you're right.
Behind Dogstorm.
So it's interesting there.
Yeah.
But they're all like amazed that he's actually doing this, and just like, hey, one day he will be Shogun of Wano. Those who serve and support him must be the greatest samurai of the land. Not only must you protect your liege, but you will do the same for the capital and eventually all of Wano. You will be our guardian deities. Is that understood? And just seeing the reaction.
That shot of Yasu saying, he will be the Shogun of Wano. That is such a like. That feels like whenever a Straw Hat says like Luffy's the man who will be king of the pirates, where it is like a straightforward, definitive statement.
Mm-hmm. There's impact there. It's like, hey, these actions matter. Pay attention to your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Go. And Yasui's dead with a smile on his face. All the others that have seen it are in tears. Even Shutamaru is. He looks affected, and you can even. I love just the little tears that you can see in Kappa's face, Kappa's eyes. So it's a good detail there. But things are getting a little chaotic because at the prisoners' quarters, of course, all the Ebisu people were just laughing it up. It's like, Yasu up and died, yeah, and round up the people of Ebisu and drive them out. It's like, they're creeping me out, and they're just crying and laughing, and they just they're just like, we're not leaving. And Toko's still calling out for her dad and laughing and crying at the same time. It's just man, just to see how Zoro's affected.
Yeah, the way that he sees this, like, there's something I think that like this whole scene is. I don't know. I get chills a little bit with how it's weirdly dark in a way that like there's something about the laughing and being unable to like actually express your true feelings that it's a different kind of twisted than like you really get from One Piece usually. So like I really sort of appreciate how unique just like tonally that this is.
Mm-hmm. And Zoro's ready for blood. You can just see it.
Oh yeah, you could see it. You could see it.
Barely holding himself back. But as Hiyori says, Orochi plunges the people into misery, leaves them unable to mourn their misfortune. If this is not hell, then what is? Tell me. And Zoro's like, okay, wait, smile isn't just artificial devil fruits. What's that all about? And of course, Orochi starts just being all pompous and like,
he's laughing, but it's not because of the smile fruit.
No, not at all. So yeah, he's just all happy with himself. Is like, laugh him into, that's the spirit. Laugh him into the afterlife. This is Wano, bright, cheerful Wano. You might mistake it for paradise. And
which I think, is that like his catchfriase?
I think so.
He said it like 3 times at this point.
And all the other Straw Hats are rushing there. The others are like Shinobu and them are just like, oh gosh, how could we have not noticed it was him? It's like,
right.
I just sacrificed myself because of all this. And that's when time for all of them to learn about Smile, because Robin's like, wait, the people of Ebisu Town have revered him. Why would they be laughing? And Queen's even living it up. Is like, look at that. They're all losing their marbles, laughing their heads off at the execution of their former daimyo. It's just cruel, Orochi. And
and of course Hyo knows him.
Of course knows him. It's like, I had no idea he was still alive. And Luffy is disturbed by it all too. It's like, there must be some reason, right? No matter who that guy was, no one deserves to get laughed at after they die. And he's just affected.
Yeah, which is weird because he's still just stuffed to the face.
And so all the Straw Hats are getting the explanation of the Smile fruits and what's actually happening it. And Raizo's, of course, being like, oh, geez, you knew our plan was ruined, and then you took it upon yourself to fix it. And everybody's sort of reacting. Everybody's seen this. Everybody's reacting to it, even Kaido. And,
Kaido's just kind of like, dang, that's, you're one sick snake of a man. It's just like, I feel like if even Kaido was like, dang, okay.
Oh, gosh. And Shitamaru is just like, hey, Dogstorm, Kinemon, do you know about Smile Fruit? And like all of them, it's the waves. It's just the waves of how all of them being affected.
Yeah.
Like it is a far-ranging death.
I feel like this is sort of like the last layer of like revealing kind of the underlying darkness, behind Wano of just, again, to make the Dressrosa comparison, that this is sort of the like, oh, the toys are people, right? This is kind of like, I feel like we've had a lot of dark underbellies here in Wano, but this feels sort of like peeling back the last layer of sort of the consequences of the actions that we've been dealing with since Punk Hazard.
Yes. I still can't believe I ended there when it was like the most important. Like it's just the setup for everything to come after.
Everything else after this. Yeah. Yeah. It's just I think that is what I love the most about sort of like this procession of story arcs, is kind of like everything that happens has consequences that like kind of it comes out in waves almost, right? Like you're seeing the ripple effect. If Punk Hazard is the center, like you hit further and further removed from it, and that there are still things that are happening because both of what happened on Punk Hazard and what the Straw Hats did to it.
And Shinobu's the one who breaks it down. The smiles that people of Ebisu wear are actually masks that they can never remove for the rest of their lives. Because several years ago, Kaido and Orochi began a new venture, began trading the weapons built in this country and importing strange artificial fruits in return. When one eats the fruit, it invites the sea's hatred, leaving you unable to swim. But in exchange, the horrible fruit confers ferocious power of a wild animal. And Frankie's like, wait, we destroyed the factory where they're being made. And he's like, yeah, Master Kimon told me this. But by doing this, Kaido was able to give his own followers monstrous strength in an attempt to create the mightiest pirate crew in existence. But everything that sounds too good to be true contains hidden risks. The success rate of this artificial strengthening effect is only 10%. If 10 people eat the fruit, only one of them will actually gain its power. The other 9 lose out and receive only the downsides. Not only are they unable to swim anymore, the side effect of the imperfect chemical mixture wipes out the ability to express sorrow or anger, meaning that the only thing they can do anymore is laugh.
So there it is, which is why it was so important that we, destroyed these factories, here on Punk Hazard and Dressrosa.
And it was the sad factory that make the smile fruit.
Yeah, yeah. The meaning behind those names definitely, it hits a little bit different now.
Mm-hmm. So now it's time to break down at least some of the people that make up Kaido's crew. The basic fighters are separated into 3 different categories. The waiters, those who haven't eaten the fruit yet and are still expecting their chance to gain animal powers. The gifters, the lucky 1 in 10 category who successfully gained animal strength. And the pleasures, the unlucky fighters who ate the fruit and were left with nothing but eternal laughter. After seeing the particular misfortune of those who are unlucky, the masterminds chose to name the concoction in mockery of their condition. Thus, brutal. The smile fruit. Just a reminder, Caesar still sucks. Like he became a joke, yes. But he is still awful. Awful.
Yeah, I feel like it's all of those times that we both, here and in Zoe, right, where you're sort of seeing kind of the direct consequences of his actions, and I feel like because on Whole Cake we were kind of removed from it, and he was just hilarious. Like it's funny to see him as the butt monkey, but it is also like, no, this is all his fault, and he has ruined the lives of like thousands of people.
Oh yeah. I honestly hope he gets more of a comeuppance than him just being able to escape off somewhere.
He deserves a lot more than what he's gotten.
Yes, he does. So we'll see if that ever happens, but and yeah, they're just like, wow, we already did think it was weird that they gave that name to the devil fruits, the fake devil fruits. And that's when Shinobu was like, oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to the tragic part of all this yet. Because Orochi found a perverse interest in the failed smile fruits that had already been bitten. The fruits still contained the negative side effects, and thus they were capable of creating yet more pleasures. So, because he hated the people of the leftover town outside of Flower Capital with all its weeping and death, he had some of those failed smile fruits slipped in among the leftovers that trickled out of the capital. So they ate them, and they started smiling because he wanted it to seem like paradise where everybody's happy and laughing instead of crying and miserable outside of the Flower Capital.
I feel like that is sort of like the last level of just that there are aspects of this that like Orochi is directly responsible for just because he's that much of a hater. And just it kind of hates like all these people are poor, it makes us look bad, you might mistake it for paradise, because hey, everybody's happy, people are laughing, it's all good. And so I think with that extra level of like we're already starving the populace, right, and we're feeding them poison, I think is just like, all right, yeah, this dude's got to go.
Yeah, it's a level beyond. Like, as far as leaders go, we always had Wapple as sort of like that the big, like...
right, it's kind of like the goofy, incompetent one, the guy who just kind of plainly sucks.
Yeah.
But I really... I appreciate that from a storytelling perspective, at least. That, like Orochi, he clearly is, like, second banana compared to Kaido and, the monstrously powerful people that are in his crew, but like there's a level like he makes it personal, which I feel like is sort of the opposite of Kaido, who kind of seems like he doesn't really care.
yeah Kaido is just like whatever. He doesn't he would not bother if he wasn't getting something out of the whole deal with Orochi, then he wouldn't be bothering with all this.
Yeah, he's just like he's just here for capitalism, right? Like he just wants his weapons and his army.
Pretty much. But yeah, all those useless smile fruits were shipped to Ebisu Town, and that's how they became a place that children can't even mourn after their parents' deaths, just because they're always laughing, always smiling. And to finally get an explanation for all that about these weird people for so long, it's like, why are they like that? What happened there? So yeah, as Yuri says, I beg of you, don't blame them for laughing. And Zoro just thinks back to Yasue, and it's like, you got to smile. That good fortune will go get away. Yeah. Use that mouth of yours and smile. And Toko makes
like it's.
Oh, good.
I was going to say before we continue, I feel like it's so rare to see Zoro so kind of like personally affected by this, right? Like he's always the Straw Hat who's kind of the most aloof and kind of the most just kind of like, yeah, like I'm down for whatever, tell me where to point my sword and I'll go. But like he seems just like that one little interaction with Yasu is just kind of a weirdly annoying little goofball. But I feel like seeing all of this is sort of like, oh no, Zoro's had enough of this. I think seeing him kind of react to this has been particularly interesting.
Yeah.
The rest of the Straw Hats I kind of get, like, yeah, that's about how they would react, but he like Oda is particularly going out of his way to show these sort of close-ups of Zoro, just kind of taking it all in.
Yeah, it leads to a lot of the stuff that's about to come up, and in the meantime, Toko has made it beyond the fence and is trying to save her father because she has the toad oil from Usopp, and
which, man,
God,
just don't
the Usopp is like
driving that knife.
I'm sorry.
It's brutal. I can't, man. Like this, it's something about Toko that just that like crying laughter trying to, like, it's just like very like, get up, Dad. And I'm just like, oh, I can't, dude.
And Orochi takes notice of her. It's like, you're the one that laughed at me before and, caused the whole Kamarasaki to die. So he starts firing off his gun to scare the people away from him and takes aim at Toko. And it's like, no wonder you had an attitude. If you hadn't cackled and mocked me the way you did, you two generations of your family have earned my wrath. And Hiyori's trying to get her to get out of the way. And he's getting ready to shoot her straight in the head. And that's when Zoro stops the bullet and Sanji shows up. I did not expect Sanji to step in there as well. I honestly didn't realize they were all that close together.
Yeah. But man, after all this, seeing them pose in the center, right, like that, and Zoro, like he's got Toko in his hands, like she's safe, and it's just like that. I'm ready for a fight, man.
Yeah,
I'm ready for them to set things right, and of course they're both just like, what? Looking at each
they
other.
They cannot contain the rage.
Yeah.
So.
Neither can I, frankly.
This is going to be cathartic, to say the least.
Oh yeah.
So, oh boy. We're not quite done though, because we're finally back into SBS territory.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
So let's see what we're in for this time around. So first up, first question for this set is, Oda, don't be afraid to put in more breast bands. And Oda just says, it'll be back. Stop joking around. The sound of police sirens.
Oh!
So just, okay, Oda, sure. Let's see. The next question is, hey, Oda, I have an important report for you. On page 23 of volume 87, Sanji kicked Big Mom, right? What happened to the Sanji that would never hit a woman? And then that's when Oda responds, okay, I received a couple other letters regarding this, but that's not what happened. Big Mom attempted to punch Reiju, so Luffy and Sanji stopped her. That's what happened here in the scene. However, can they stop Big Mom's punch by merely catching it? It's impossible. So in order to cancel out the power of her punch, he blocked it with his kick, which means he's just protecting themselves. It's not a violent action toward a woman. Sanji's policy still stands. So
seems like a bit of a technicality, but I'll allow it.
Yeah,
I'll
a
allow
little bit
it.
of technicality.
I guess it's intent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I guess it's more like he didn't kick Big Mom, he put his leg in the way.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to start moving my hands like this, and if you get in the way, it's your own fault. That sort of thing.
Like, that wasn't flying, that was falling with style.
Exactly. And the final one for this chapter is, I would just like to tell something out to Sanji. Stealth doesn't matter if it's already a mixed bath. And that's what Sanji says, reader, while in mixed baths, there is no reason to look at a lady's naked body. However, if I become invisible, and Oda's like, stop it, you said enough, Sanji. Young readers, please know that voyeurism is a crime. Back to the SBS.
God. Oda is walking a fine line here.
Yes, he is. You never know what kind of SBS you're going to get.
You really don't. It's a little bit of everything sometimes.
Very much so. But, well, let's continue on to the next chapter and start getting some comeuppance. For sure. Chapter 944, Partner. And, makes sense that Hancock would get one.
Yeah.
She's just enraptured by a monkey
This monkey in a Luffy shirt. It's just adorable.
Have some meat. And the monkey's like, what do I want that for?
Right. He's got bananas.
Oh, gosh. But get into the chapter itself, and the people, of course, yelling out, it's Zoro, the criminal. It's Sangoro, the rebel. And,
I love
and of course, they're taunting each other immediately.
Yeah. It's Browgoro and Masjuro.
It's like, does that man... And Hiyori's like, wait, is that man Zoro's friend? And Hawkins is just like, oh, they've certainly made quite an entrance, and Drake's already transforming, and boy.
All right, let's do it.
Yep. It's getting bad. It's like, and Rochi's just like, you've ruined the execution. That bratty little daughter of Yasuie's is a dirty criminal. So, listen up, samurai. You have my permission to slay anyone who interferes. And Zoro just tosses Toko to Sanji. And Usopp's like, oh, wait, Zoro's here? And he's like, well, right. Things are getting out of hand, but I can't really blame him. So, good job saving Toko. And Shinobu's like, wait, we need to get Yasue's body out of here. His body deserves dignity. So we got to get both of them. So, and Nami immediately points out, I was like, well, if we get sucked into this, we're not going to be able to stay in the capital anymore. And Robin's like, okay, we got to decide on a place in case we have to split up and run away. So let's figure out something real quick. And Zoro's wasting no time. Gets his two-sword style out and, Sanji's immediately like, hey, Tonoyasu gave up his life for this. You're only going to, and no, Zoro's thinking too hard about what he was saying before. And Ebisu smile and all of that goes for the 720-pound Phoenix directly at Orochi.
Yeah, but just straight for the boss.
Yep, ready to just kill him. Like he's just like, he wasn't dodging that. He wasn't surviving that. Mm-hmm. But Kyoshiro shows up and blocks it.
Yeah, which is, I think, your first kind of indication, like, oh, how strong is he?
Yeah, it really does give you a sense that this guy is strong.
Yeah, and he'd even said as much, right? Like, hey, if somebody comes to attack you, like, I'd love to show off, So here it is.
True. So we finally have our first real rival for Zoro.
Yeah, and I love that.
Still not convinced that he's bad because I feel like he's just protecting the plan.
Yeah. Well, I love on the next page the way that like the slashes just like they go right past Orochi and kind of cut off the roofs of the buildings next to him.
It's a sweet shot.
Yeah, and he's like, the Ronin tried to kill me.
And Sanji's like, hey, cool your head, man. And all of a sudden, here comes Drake behind Sanji, who's really ready to get him. And Drake's rampaging, trying to get Sanji. Sanji's fighting him while protecting Toko. More guns come out to fire at Zoro, but that's when Frankie steps in and is covering his back. It's like, all right, we're all getting involved now.
Yep. All right, this just some classic, just straw hat brawling. Of course, Frankie's off in the background with a strong right. Then it's just like, what is happening out here?
I love that shot of Frankie's face half in shadow. It looks so cool.
It's so sick.
And Zoro is colored so darkly as he is seriously out for blood.
Again, like it really does feel like he is. And I know of the Straw Hats, he was the one who spent the most time, even if only a little bit, with Yasu. But like it is so rare for him to get so like personally affected by these things. Yeah, and Frankie grabs Yasu's body. And it starts taking off. Usopp steps in to provide cover fire. Nami and Robin are getting ready. It is all hands on deck. Yep. So Orochi's being carted away as he just shouts out, of course, like, everyone who defies me must be eliminated. And Zoro's ready to go for that kill, but Kyoshiro blocks him and says, nah, I don't think so. I am the Shogun's dog. So yeah, which is a little tongue-in-cheek.
Little tongue-in-cheek. I don't think he's a bad guy.
Yeah, again, I keep saying, like, I feel like these lines, I feel like it seems interesting that, like, you don't know exactly how to put a read on him.
Mm-hmm. It really could go either way, but I'm just, I don't know. There's too much evidence in my mind, at least, that he's with them. Like things have gone just a little too convenient and stayed on track with him around. So I don't know. Yeah. Of course, over in Udon, Luffy's watching immediately going, get him, guys.
Yeah. It's like watching a wrestling match. I like that. I was about to point this out until I realized we were going to get to this on the next page, but like that this is all happening while Luffy's stuck in jail, I think is really cool. Like, yeah, we were seeing all of the Straw Hats minus Luffy just kind of like take up the mantle, right?
Mm-hmm. I love that it's not Luffy causing the chaos. It is the crew.
Time. Yeah. This is a real rare instance where like Luffy is not involved in any of this stuff in these like past few chapters. He's just watching it and he's proud of his crew. Like, yeah, get him.
It's like, this looks bad. It's like, it's fine. Slice up the scumbag. And Queen's like, wait, those are your folks? Oh, after going after Orochi? Oh, that's hilarious. And that's when Queen's told, hey, we've got more criminals from Flower Capital. It's like, oh, who is it? It's Hitokiri Kamazo, who apparently failed his duty to the Shogun. And here he is locked in chains, along with the escaped Captain Kidd along the way.
Back so soon.
And there was something about this page in particular when I saw it, I was like, wait a second. Man all in bandages with Kidd. Haven't seen his face. And I did think, I was like, wait, could this be Killer? And then it gets confirmed 2 pages later. So I'm kind of happy I did not call it before this point.
Yeah. Which is why I told you not to look him up. Because I knew that this was coming up soon.
That's pretty crazy. But yeah, all of a sudden, Kidd escaping makes so much sense. And him getting caught makes so much sense. You know, he was shouting and rushing right at us. We shot at him a few times, but he didn't try to run at all. And here we are. I wonder if he forgot that he had Sea Prism Stone cuffs on. So, you know.
I also really think... Oh, sorry.
All I'm saying is Luffy's like, why do you let him himself get caught?
Right. Which, well, I feel like we only like, knowing that Kidd is here, but like, I think because there's so many other things going on that like, we haven't really dove too much into like why he's here, right? Or sort of like we don't have a good idea as to what his role and everything is in here. So it's interesting to see kind of the little bits and pieces that we do get of it, because clearly like things are moving like you would think that he's going to be involved in some way, because he's clearly, you know, not involved with Kaido's crew. He's trying to take him down by himself, but
something definitely something's up. And Kidd, you understand, you kind of get immediately why Kidd wants is sticking around and why he's acting the way he is. Because the way he starts talking to him is like, hey man, I thought you hated the way you laugh, and that was why you stopped yourself from ever laughing again. And after hearing about the smile fruit and then him laughing like this, it's like, oh jeez. Right. It's like, you kind of get it like, oh no. And you would beat anyone half to death who mocked the way you laugh. That was why you ended up covering your face with that mask. So what happened to you? After you split off from me, what did Kaido do to you? Or was it Orochi? Where did everyone go? Answer me. Talk to me. Killer.
Yeah. And he's also like, he's crying too, you know, so
yeah,
he's another victim of the smile fruits, which I feel like it is what the way that we've had these reveals like stacked, that we had this other person who is another victim of the smile fruits, you know, completely disconnected from the plot with Ebisu Town, but was also, you know, directly connected to it and all the other things, you know, going on in the prison and with Killer and stuff like that, and Kidd. So I don't know. It's a cool reveal, and we were kind of wondering, you know, like, hey, like Kidd's here, like, so where's his second in command? So he's been here the whole time.
I did have the question. I was like, where is Killer? Like, that's so odd. That
yeah, because it's like, it's a memorable design. You know, like we didn't see that much of Killer in Sabaody, but like, you know, you remember the guy in the mask, right? Because it's a cool mask, and he's got that big flowing hair.
And it's the only other supernova that was in an existing crew. Like, it was only Zoro and Luffy and
Kid and Killer.
Kid and Killer. So
yeah,
it felt odd, and the payoff for that is kind of heartbreaking.
it is heartbreaking, and it is also on the. It's like, I feel like that's the fascinating thing about this set of chapters. It feels like there are multiple levels to the payoffs that are happening right now. That Oda is sort of short term, medium term, long term, kind of all at the same time.
Yeah. And, you know, Luffy realizes who it is. Kids wondering, like, still questioning who did this. Hyo's like, oh, he gets it. It's like victim of the smile fruit, pitiable souls. And then you turn that page and they're like, Queen has another sick torture set up where he's...
All right, time for waterboarding.
Yep, time to waterboard him. So they're just laughing it up as they get dunked and then raised up. Dunked and then raised up. And all the other prisoners are like, oh, this is too ghastly.
Yeah. And I feel like the reaction from the prisoners is also really interesting, too, because you kind of had it like for a bit where it was like, oh, like this Luffy guy, like maybe he can kind of fight back a little bit. And then it's like, no, in the end, there's not, you can't fight him.
Mm-hmm. It's too much. And that's when Queen comes up with an idea. The wait is over. It's time to resume the Sumo Inferno. The moment you leave this arena, the spikes in your collars will kill you. That part remains the same, but the new rule is that they stay in the water as long as you're alive. So we'll only pull them out once you guys are dead. And Luffy's like, nah, that's stupid. They got nothing to do with them. It's like, that's true, but why did you look a bit panicked? It's because you're rivals battling out in the same generation. Then you could help your pals and die for them. It's like, I like how observant Queen is. He seems like a goofball, but he really does pay attention to that stuff.
He understands that, yeah. And sort of where he goes on, he's like, you might do infamous deeds and earn bounties of billions, but every human being can drown in just 2 inches of water. And he kind of is sort of like regaining control. And I like kind of this bit here where like, Luffy's like, all right, why don't you get on the stage? Like, I'll whoop you and put an end to all of this. And he goes in for a punch, and Queen just like, he catches it with like his mechanical arm and just tosses Luffy aside. And it is kind of like, we did kind of have the sense of hope with Luffy, and sort of like, it was sort of feeling like Luffy's kind of the top dog around here, with his hockey and all of that. But I like that, like this bit from Queen is kind of like reality kind of crashing down. It's like, don't get so full of yourself. Who said you could feel hope? What makes you think you're going to get out of here alive? You think you can beat us? And it's like, and then his goon's like, oh, he's in a bad mood. He's like, he hasn't eaten Oshiruko yet today.
And he just goes on like, all of you are going to die one by one. And I love this from Luffy. Shut up. The only one who decides where I'll die is me. And that's when they hear a Zadoom in the background. It's like, wait, What was that? What was that sound? It just came out the gates. We just lost signal from the guards. And then we see the final panel. Oshiruko. Oh no!
Yeah, I have been waiting for this.
You knew it was coming. I was excited for it. I am so happy it's here. I cannot wait because I love Big Mom.
And also, Kid and Killer are drowning, and so we kind of need to do something about that. So she kind of showed up right in the nick of time in a weird way.
Yeah, there really was no way to save Kid without Big Mom showing up. So
So
now it does lead to interesting possibilities of like, how do you get Kid out of that water to save him from drowning, but also how do you keep Luffy safe in the ring while she's rampaging around? So there's all kinds of these X factors that are definitely a problem.
While all this is happening, again, Luffy is, if he leaves the ring, he'll cut off his neck. So it's like, if Big Mom starts running around causing chaos, it's like, Luffy could die just by complete accident. So it is kind of putting him in a tough spot, which is, again, it's just every time Big Mom shows up anywhere, it's just like, it's complete chaos. It is like you never know what is going to happen next.
Yeah. By the way, I have to assume the blades for that neck thing is made of sea prism stone, because if not, then I assume Luffy could just hockey his neck, armor and hockey his neck, and be fine.
Yeah, you would assume so.
So it's just a thought I just had something. It's like, wait a second. Luffy should be fine with those blades, but it's fine.
Yeah. It's tension,
Yeah.
And whether or not he's fine, old man Hyo, although I guess he also could use hockey, so you never know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Either way, though, it's time for our final chapter of the set, 945. Olin. It was like, I saw that, I was like, yes.
Yes.
But we do have a color spread, although it's only a single page this time. Advertising Stampede. And what the hell is this movie that they're showcasing? Lucci, Sabo, Smoker, Law, Buggy, and why am I blanking already? Hancock, yes.
Yeah,
Along with our new villain at the bottom. It's like, what the heck is this movie?
Yeah, if you know nothing about Stampede, you look at this and you're like, what the heck?
The only thing I've heard about Stampede, because I do remember people talking about it when it came out, but the only thing I heard from them is that it's tons of fan service, not much substance.
Yeah,
that's basically what I've heard about Stampede.
Although I feel like fan service can be substance, and I feel like there's like. If you go in with the right expectations, it's good. It's good. I think we'll have an interesting discussion about it in a few weeks, because it is. I'll be interested to see where you land on it, because I do think I prefer kind of gold and Z for sure over it, but I still think it's good in its own right, and
yeah.
Having watched the pre-Strong World movies, it's at least better than most of those.
It's hard to be worse than most of those, let's be honest.
Very much so. Very much so.
Oh, goodness. But into the chapter itself, Orochi's still running away from Rosetsu Town. He's, anybody's around, he's like, get over there and fight. Anyone who dares to ally with Yasue is declaring themselves my enemy. Seize them all and strike off their heads. And yeah, he is just living it up.
He's like, all right, just getting out of Dodge.
Yep, I get to boss everyone around, and Zoro still wants to get him, but Kyoshiro is putting a stop to that. He's like, give it up, Ronin, and it's. I love how the people are impressed that it's like, wow, Zoro's tough. He's keeping up with Boss Kyoshiro. And meanwhile, I'm thinking, wow, what's up with Kyoshiro? He's keeping up with Zoro.
Yeah, right. It's the opposite. I was thinking about that. I was like, this is like the first challenge Zoro has had for pretty much the whole time skip.
Yeah,
I feel like this might be
his injury either. It's just this guy is good.
Yeah, I think that is sort of the implication here.
It's very interesting, but. Of course, it's time for things to get worse as here comes the Oniwa Banshu. So that's not good.
All the ninjas are here.
Yep. And they know what the Straw Hats look like. So capture them, any of them. If we subject them to torture, we'll learn what they're after. So.
Oh no! Which I immediately thought of Nami and Usopp's conversation a few chapters ago, where they're like, "Oh yeah, if I got caught, I would last 3 minutes."
Not even that, 3 seconds.
3 seconds. That was it. Yeah. And then I also love, just completely unrelated, one of the Oniwa Banshu, attacking Zoro is just, Ninpo, hell, Biwa. He's like, that's just a gun.
And Sanji gets his hands free by passing off Toko to Usopp.
It's like, pass her like a football.
It's like, watch out for the dinosaur. And, Drake is trying to go after him, but...
it's kind of like a rematch.
Yeah, it really is. And it's a pretty interesting matchup because, he immediately swings his tail and puts Sanji into the ground. And it's like, hey, we got intel about you, the Vinsmoke bloodline. And I was like, don't you ever say that name again. It's
like, oh no, you hit the Vinsmoke button.
That's going to be the problem from now on, is Sanji constantly trying to run from that name.
Yes. 100%.
Oh, poor guy. But
he hates it.
Hiyori wants to go after Toko, but Brook is like, hey, don't worry. They'll be fine. They're with her. They're with our group. So let's get you out of the capital too, while I distract them. And he sends out his spirit to scare off a lot of the ninjas again.
Yeah, which they remember it. It's the Gashitokuro again.
Raijin and Fujin are dispatched to go after the woman, because she was with Zoro earlier. So they're all paying attention. These guys are definitely no joke. They can cause issue. They're sort of like a mini CP9.
Definitely.
Of Orochi.
Yeah.
Kind of has that vibe, except maybe a little bit more goofy, but almost more effective in a way. It's odd. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. But amongst all the chaos, it's not even just the Straw Hats doing all this. Law is here.
And I love this rivalry. We're kind of like these repeated encounters we get with Law and Hawkins.
Yeah, I really like the idea of this, and
which again I feel we're like pitting our worst generation up against each other.
It's fun. It's cool that they don't all end up as allies.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, they are pirates at the end of the day. Their goals will align in different ways. So very curious how that ends up. But I also like how Oda has to constantly think of ways to limit what Law can do.
yeah. Because he is too he's too broken, and I love that. Well, because he's talking to Hawkins, he's like because we see that actually Shachi and Penguin they're like, Captain, they're in prison, and Law's like, there's one more, a polar bear, and Hawkins is like, you could easily help them escape with your powers, which is like, yeah, true, only a fool would place all of the hostages where you could see them, which is like, yeah, fair.
Yeah. And he's basically like, nah, you're going in the cage to join him. He's like, you've not learned your lesson yet, have you? You cannot defeat me. And he slices his sword against his own arm, which causes Shachi to, cry out in pain. And he goes, yeah, I have 4 lives in my possession. You can only strike me down for good after your 3 subordinates are dead. And that is a cool use of your power to really, what do you do in that
the
case?
Hostages. Yeah, that's really, really smart, actually. Like, again, I like that. Again, like we see Law that is, he's so busted. We've seen him, all throughout the time skip. It's just like, what do you do with this guy? So I'm glad that Oda kind of found a way to put him in situations where he can't just room. It's just, and he doesn't have the win button.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's fun to see how you mess with that sort of idea, and. It doesn't feel trite either, because it could easily feel trite. It's like, oh, he's finding ways to nerf Law in a way. And Law doesn't feel nerfed. He just this is his coda. Like Luffy would struggle with this.
Yeah, I feel like that is sort of an important, Law is still busted, right? Law, Oda doesn't really undermine that, I think. It's just that there are these scenarios where he can't just go in kind of guns blazing. But I think when we start getting down to it, Law is still a monster.
And Sanji is still Sanji because he hears Hiyori scream from a bunch of explosions going on. It's like, that was a pretty lady. Lock on.
Yeah, beep, 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 beep. Which is
beautiful one. Under attack. She needs my help. And as he's still dodging from Drake. But there goes Zoro, who cuts through. I forget which one it is, which Raijin or Fujin.
I don't remember.
But cuts down one of them to protect her. And you are working together. It's like, how did you let them chase you? It's like, I'm sorry. I thought I was hiding my face. And Sanji spots that. It's like, Mosshead knows the beautiful babe, but he's got a lower bounty than mine.
It's just great. That's a great gag.
Oh, that is really good. I do like the fact that she'll probably cling to Zoro more than
right. Yeah,
Sanji.
it seems like
this point it'll just
it's just poor Sanji, because Sanji doesn't even know that that's Momonosuke's sister, right?
No, he doesn't know it's Momonosuke's sister. Doesn't know it's Komurasaki. He just knows beautiful woman clinging to Zoro.
Right. Yeah.
Oh God, it's so much fun when you get to those
there's so much going
situations.
on.
And all I have to say to all that every time is, don't worry, Sanji, you still got pudding.
Yes, right. Eyes on the prize. The prize.
There's always room for pudding.
Yes.
But Shutamaru is not happy because, you're trying to manipulate us. They burned down our mountain, and he's knocking Kinemon to the ground. And Dogstorm is like, wait, we were in the wrong. I'm sorry. And Kinemon's like, I should have just swallowed my pride and begged you from the start. It never occurred to me that 20 years, long years can change a man. And I arrogantly presumed that you would have help if I invoked the sake of our liege. And when time pressed, I forced the issue. Forgive me, Ashura. I really need to remember that he's Ashura, not Shutamaru, but so many people have multiple names.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue.
Yep. But as Kinemon points out, the plan is still alive. Lord Yasue gave his life to deceive the enemy and divert attention. If anyone is aware that the moon tattoos are not just a fashionable fad, it is the samurai who were apprehended for bearing them. On the night of the Fire Festival, we will strike Onigashima, Isle of Ogres. If all All of this frees the samurai of the capital. I know that we will have their help. Will you join our fight? And all he does is take a drink of his booze, says, hey, come with me. I got something to show you. And we don't know what that is.
Yeah, and also I was thinking, like, man, we've been spent like half the chapter like, where's Big Mom?
Here's Big Mom. She's at the excavation labor camp, where they're hearing, all right, the gate at the front entrance has been destroyed. The second and third gates are ruined too. And it's like, wait a second. She looks familiar, but it can't be. Well, what other hag could destroy the steel gates? It has to be Big Mom.
And I love that she's like, what's that? Is it something yummy? She doesn't know.
And even Queen's freaking out. Like,
epithet.
what is she doing here?
They said they sank her ship. Or Luffy's just
freaking
like,
out.
What? Am I dreaming right now? I love this. Luffy and Queen, Kaido's crew, everybody's like, what is Big Mom doing here? They are all flipping out.
And old man Yo's just like, what?
Yeah, right? There's no idea.
But I love how she's not completely lost, though. She looked like she had lost her mind when at the end of the last set because we were saying Oshiruko. But she does call out to Tama and says, hey, I smell the scent of Oshiruko. Let's eat it together. And
So
Tama's
we don't
like,
have the
"Yay,
hunger pangs
she's
yet."
calling for me.
Right? Poor Chopper was like, there's actually Oshiruko in there. That was a complete bluff. So, hey, big dubs for Chopper. It all worked out in the end.
So far, so good. But, of course, we got to have the kids stay behind. We hide here and wait for us, so we cannot be spotted. Udon is under control of Queen, a lead performer of the Animal Kingdom Pirates, so we must use our vigilance. And of course, they're always asking, what is with you guys tying those towels under your noses?
It's the perfect disguise.
You will never know who she is. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
Of course, the mention of Oshiruko gets Queen's attention, and he's like,
yeah, he's pissed.
It's like, and she just goes, yeah, where is it? Give it here. We heard you get to eat all you want, so that's why we came. And he goes, nah, that's nonsense. Who told you that? And they're like, oh, geez, Queen's changing form. And he just goes on. He's like, did you know Oshiruko is my favorite? Is that why you've come to steal it? The boss is losing it.
And while this is happening,
and
Kid and Killer are drowning.
Yeah, it's like, hey, he's kind of dying. Pull them up first, and they are definitely passing out. It's like, oh man, just to get the form of Queen. It's like, you call this nonsense? Are you going to fight, sir? Not so fast, Master Queen. Fighting with Big Mom over food can have disastrous consequences. And then we get to see it. He has the dragon fruit ancient model Brachiosaurus. I love how we're getting so many freaking dinosaurs as our Zoan types. It's awesome. And
it's really, really cool.
Queen should not look that cool.
he looks really sick, actually. And of course, I love the irony of him. He's like, we have plenty of Oshiruko, but it's all mine. You won't get a drop of it, old hag. And his goons are like, if only you knew it was all gone.
Oh, geez. And Chopper and then we're getting in there, and it's like, I was like, all right, I can already hear shouting. I'm scared. But then Olin is just the nice version of Big Mom, so maybe she'll get pushed around by a fierce enemy. And that's when they get in there to see what's going on. And Big Mom shouts out, enough, just give me that Oshiruko. Grabs hold of Queen and slams his head into the ground.
That is the third highest ranking member of Kaido's pirate crew, getting slammed into the ground like a basketball by another Emperor of the Sea.
There's a reason she's an Emperor of the Sea.
We are establishing the gap between the upper echelons of a crew, of an Emperor, crewmate, and an actual Emperor. It is just, it's like, oh right, Big Mom is, even in the state where she's lost her memories, and I feel like I love that we established that with the Sharkadile or whatever, where she just like beat it into submission. And you're like, Oh no, she still has all of her monster strength. I lost it. I was dying when I realized that was our last panel of the week. It's this Big Mom just.
I am so excited to see more of this because
you were wondering where this goes. You're like, okay, we're setting up kind of a queen versus Big Mom. I wonder how that's gonna go. It's like, not great so far.
So I try not to look at the volume covers as I'm scrolling through the Shonen.
Yeah.
Jump out to see what's going on.
It's
impossible not to notice the cover of this one, where it's Big Mom and Kaido facing off against each other, like staring each other down. And I'm like, are they going to battle it out? Are we going to see that soon? What is going to happen with that? What's going on? And I'm just like, I need to see. To see.
I'm telling you, like, Big Mom just being present in Wano, just like as a present force, is like, it throws a wrench into so many things, and I can't think of any many other like shonen manga arcs where it's like the villain of the previous arc has not been recruited. Like, it's not like she's a good guy now. It's just more like she's just like like another faction, right? Kind of thrown into this with her own ambitions.
She was only escaped from. We always talked about how she never lost any of her menace throughout the entirety of Whole Cake, which is an impressive feat. And to see that pay off here in Wano, where that menace is being used to full force, because you're right, I don't think I've ever seen that before, where the previous villain of an arc is showing up again to cause trouble in the next arc as well, as their own force, rather than an ally or pseudo ally like Vegeta.
Yeah, not on the Straw Hat side.
In Namek. It's so good. I want to see more. I can't wait to see what happens.
This particular thread is so great. I love that Big Mom is here, and so getting into some of the stuff. I'm sad that it is like we're just getting a little peek, but I think kind of once we start seeing sort of the broader strokes, like it'll start being real good.
I cannot wait.
So again, I feel like some One Piece fans don't give Big Mom her due, and I think she earns her flowers and then some every scene that she's in.
I don't understand how they wouldn't give her due, because she's been amazing every time I've seen her. She's one of my favorites.
Absolutely, yeah. She's also one of my favorites.
Like, I love. She's a perfect wrench in a plan.
Yeah. Which I think that's the thing at the end of the day, right? Is that, like, One Piece is all about chaos, and I feel like it's so rare. I feel like that One Piece's own villains are like equally as, if not more chaotic than like Luffy. Because it felt like during Whole Cake, it felt like
this set has been more chaotic than Luffy himself.
Yeah, Luffy's just been sitting here watching TV this whole time.
It's been rare. This guy.
yeah, he's kind of like, this thing. Again, it's weird that that he's kind of the straight man in the gag scenes. It's a really uncommon for him. So that is also an aspect I appreciated, and just. I just love how goofy all these characters are. I love getting that reveal that Queen. I love all the dinosaur devil fruits. It's great. It's great. This was a rough set emotionally, but good ending.
Yeah, fun way to end off on. And I think with this we've seen all the devil fruit forms of Kaido's big crew members, right? Because it was a pterodactyl or pteranodon for King, right? Because he was
yeah, and we got the mammoth for Jack.
Yeah, pteranodon, brachiosaurus, mammoth, dragon.
Yeah,
what the
which
hell?
is funny that all the dinosaurs are also the dragon fruit.
Yeah, that's true. So quite interesting there, but we still have an SBS for this chapter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. First up is the names for all admirals follow the format of color plus animal, right? So I thought there's an organization in the Marine headquarters where they'll discuss and decide the names for each admiral. Could it be that the head of that organization is Vice Admiral Nazu Katagari, who has a hobby of doing fortune telling based on names? That must be it, right? And Oda goes, Of course. You're very knowledgeable. And not just the admirals. He named every member of the Marine who has an epithet.
All right, sure.
He's like, yeah, sure. That works.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Whatever you say,
One thing, since while we're on the topic, it is interesting to me, because I didn't know for a long time that the original 3 admirals, at least, like their epithets are they are based on the Momotaro Densetsu, the same like he's spreading out this folklore between, there's parts of it in the admirals, there's parts of it with like the Ryugu Kingdom and Fishman Island is from that, but also Onigashima is a location from that as well, and of course Momonosuke himself as Momotaro. So it's kind of like he's splitting it in all of these like kind of different unrelated places, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it's a neat way to just build up all that. It's fun. And then our other question is chapter 943. It's so touching. Izo, the commander of the 16th Division of Whitebeard Pirates. Izo was one of the 9 red scabbards. Was Kozuki Ogden the commander of the 16th Division? And Oda goes, oh, you guys noticed another small detail. Young Kinemon and the others in the flashback scene, if you count them, no doubt there are 9 people. But what is this? I thought it was Okiku, but no, but the person feels a little different. By the way, Izo is one of the commanders that appeared in the Summit War arc. It's true that they look similar since Izo also wore a kimono. And in volume 82, chapter 820, it did say that some people from Wano country joined Whitebeard's ship. One day the answer to this question will be revealed, so just continue reading. You'll notice it, right? So, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah. Look out for those details. We'll get there when we get there. It's not too much further out.
No. So, yeah. Gosh. Wano continues to just be a pleasure.
That was a fantastic set. Like, it felt like it was it was not the climax of Act 2, but it felt like a climactic point, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Although, I do wonder.
Honestly, it might be.
Where is the climax of Act 2? Like, the more further we go, the more I think it's going to be a 5-act structure rather than a 3-act structure.
Yeah.
Because if there is a showdown between Big Mom and Kaido, according to that, like there seems to be, thanks to that volume cover, that would be a place to end Act 2. So,
yeah, which really, knowing that you know that now, it is going to be interesting seeing how do we get from point A to point B.
Yeah, well, it's like I don't know if they'll actually fight either. That's the thing. It's like because they were allies before, so. For all we know, that could for all I know, that could just launch into a flashback for the two of them all of a sudden. So
right,
there's any number of ways that could go.
There's a lot of stories to tell, a lot of character relationships. Yeah. Oh man, Wano is dense. That's my answer. Wano is dense with narratives of all kinds,
and we still haven't met Yamato.
Nope. No hide nor hair. No mention
to define Wano has still not appeared.
We are nowhere close. I will say that right now.
That is hilarious to me.
Nowhere near.
This character seemed to take over all anybody said about Wano. Not even seen him yet.
Yeah, no, there's so much there's so much story to tell.
Oh, amazing. So, but yeah, with that, I believe we've said all we've wanted to say about chapters 941 to 945 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube, or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I am Brandon Bovia on Twitter and BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games is my job, and just more of that. Just more of the same. Can't wait to come back next week for more One Piece. It's just we are closing the gap. We are. I feel like before we know it, we're going to be less than 200 chapters out. Like we are already nearing the 200 chapter mark.
That's insane.
Yeah, since the manga just is at 1170, so not too much further.
That's really funny because 970 is is after 970 is when we record Stampede. So it's
that's
like
right,
we
that's
hit
right.
200 chapters away, Stampede, then we continue on.
There we go. Yep, that'll be the final 200 chapters ish. So, whew, man. Wano's great. Wano is great. These I've been loving these.
Same. And if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DerrickBitner to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes. And make sure to return next time as we discuss chapters 946 to 950 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
Would you like me to recite the poem that binds your heart? A man of such small caliber shall never know the taste of Odin for as long as he shall live.